Making today?
We're making Chrusciki, a Polish cookie. And I remember when Tara was in middle school, she came to me and said, "Grandma, we're having International Day. Could you make an easy Polish cookie?" And I said, "Tara, there's no such thing as an easy Polish cookie." And that
really
was the
isn't.
very, very first time I ever made Chrusciki.
Ever?
Ever.
Oh wow, okay.
Yep.
So this has been a Tara and Grandma recipe
Oh, yeah.
for years.
Oh, yes.
And so, yeah, we're making it again today. And we're using a recipe from jennycancook.com. It's this recipe. And honestly, like, it's not easy, but it's simple, right?
Oh, yes.
Like, it's pretty straightforward. So we're starting off by cleaning the counter, or Grandma's really cleaning the counter. I'm just holding a camera. But, yeah, we start with making the dough. So, I may be very Irish, but my other half is Polish, so it's very important for us to make Polish recipes, right, Grandma?
Yes.
Even though sometimes it seems like everything I do is like, I'm Irish, but I'm only half Irish. I'm also half Polish.
Tara's going to carry the Polish tradition on.
The language, the cookies, most importantly. Everything.
Oh, the food.
The food's the most important.
Especially the food.
Yeah. So starting out by putting on the oil, and in Jenny's recipe she uses a meat thermometer to make sure the oil's ready.
Here. Well, got family in Poland who call me, don't speak English. And I try real hard to understand what they're saying, and I think they try real hard to understand what I'm saying in Polish, which isn't the proper endings or the proper anything. But somehow we managed to have a conversation. She had 4 children, and she's got a skazillion grandchildren and great-grandchildren.
Whereas you had 4 children and have 2. Two grandchildren.
But I have 4 boys now. I have 2 granddaughters. I was so excited. Still excited. Look at what I can do with her. This is so much fun.
And how did you learn Polish?
I went to Polish school, and we had to learn Polish. We had to study Polish history, and my grandmother came from Poland, so spoke a lot of Polish at home. But over the years, if you don't use it, you forget it.
Mm-hmm.
So now that I talk to my family in Poland, things come back to me. So that helps a lot. And then I have a granddaughter who can speak Polish.
Who can speak severely broken Polish when she's trying her best.
That happens to all of us. And I remember my grandmother would call it half na pół, which means half and half. And instead of saying shoes, she would say shusi. And kind of make an English word Polish. But shoes in Polish are buty. But she called American shoes shusi.
And then
Went to Polish church, Polish mass. Went to Poland, which I loved.
what's your favorite memory from the time you spent in Poland?
Time I spent in Poland, my favorite memory is walking down the same dirt road that my grandmother and grandfather walked down. I just felt like that was my home. I felt so connected to everything. First time we went to Poland, we went on a tour. Then the second time, we contacted family And I still try to keep the Polish heritage and custom. We do the opłatek on Christmas Eve. We do the colored eggs, which they call pisanki at Easter. Make the Polish bread, which they call babka.
We do the Easter basket blessings at
Easter
church.
basket blessings, yes. We do the, mushroom soup is getting to be a staple.
Yeah, honestly.
That's also,
She makes the best mushroom soup.
Yeah, that's my grandmother's recipe. There are recipes on this website that I remember my grandmother making, like pickled pig's feet,
Oh, yum.
which my grandfather loved. Oh my God, I couldn't imagine how he could eat that. And the smell was terrible.
Oh, yeah.
But it was like jelly.
Though some people say that to me about sauerkraut. They hate sauerkraut, but I'm like, I could eat buckets of sauerkraut.
Yeah,
like,
sauerkraut.
it's so good.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And pierogi.
Yeah, we also make pierogi together.
Yeah, Tara knows how to do that, and she does it very well.
Oh, thank you.
Her pierogi turned out nicer than mine. So she's got that job now.
Okay. Do you want to tell the story of how your family came to America?
Well, my grandfather came first. He had a brother here. And my grandfather was Ukrainian, and at that time, that part of Poland was under the Soviet Union. And I was very surprised that my Ukrainian grandfather married my Polish grandmother, but Jehovah, where they came from at that time, was Ukrainian. And then Stalin called his Ukrainian people back because Poland became more independent. And so they were dating while they were in Poland. And my grandfather came. My grandmother's father and mother were pretty wealthy. He owned a sawmill. And my grandfather wanted to send my grandmother money. And she said, no, I have enough money. And she came on her own. I think she was 16 or 17 when she came.
So, my age.
Yeah, and she
Or
came,
younger than
well,
me.
she was the oldest, and her mother had died, and she didn't want to stay and take care of the kids.
Mm-hmm.
And later on, her sister, one of her sisters came. Her name was Jenny. Came to America. So she had her sister here, but they never went back. Never went back. Because some of the words, when I went to take a class in Polish, I used a Ukrainian word and the teacher yelled at me. That's not Polish.
Did she know that it was Ukrainian?
I told her, I said, well, I don't know. I says, I got both Ukrainian and Polish, and I'm not sure,
Yeah, when I'm speaking which.
which is which.
Yeah. Because, I mean, I imagine that the way that they speak Polish, because they're right on the border of, like, Ukraine and Slovakia, where the family's from, I imagine that they've got Ukrainian words in their Polish because of, like, dialect.
Oh, I'm sure they do. There's a mixture. Not only that, but one of the word I used in the Polish class was bandurki. That's potatoes.
Ah, yeah.
And she said, no, that's wrong. And I said, not wrong. She said, potatoes in Polish are ziemniaki. So I got kind of scolded. She was not happy. But what can I tell you?
Irish and Polish are the languages that I feel like are most important for me to learn fluently, so that I can then pass them down to my kids. Because, like, they're not languages that people would ever learn in school.
That's right.
Outside of Ireland and
Poland. Yeah. But,
and I guess, like, ethnic Polish neighborhoods, but there's not really many ethnic Irish neighborhoods anymore, like, that would have something like an Irish-speaking church or something.
yeah.
In Ireland, it was a lot of Nílach biegan gaelga agam. Like, I only understand a little bit of Irish, and in Poland, it was a lot of mówię tylko trochę po polsku. Because I just, it's like, if you speak slower, and you use a lot of gestures,
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably get the gist of what you're saying. But yeah, I haven't really.
Yeah, that's why I have difficulty speaking to Marisha, because
You can't see her.
right, and she talks about, you know, somebody's health, and this guy went to the hospital and he had this done, and I'm thinking I have no idea what you're talking about, you know. So
Yeah, but it's so funny because when we met Marisha, she is so similar to you. Like, it's
yeah,
even though, you know, it's a New Yorker versus a Polish, like,
yeah,
raised, Polish village raised Polish woman, like, it's the gestures, the personality is so similar. It was crazy. We were like, how is it that, like, these cousins who have, like, met only a few times and just, like, talk on the phone and stuff are the
Polish
same
blood.
person? It's the Polish it's the
blood.
Yeah, it's in the blood. She's
in the
very,
blood.
like, you know, I can do it myself. I don't need, like, I'm self-sufficient and, like, strong, like, Polish woman mentality, I
Well,
guess.
Polish women are strong.
Yes. What was your father like? Was there, like, much of the Slovak culture in your house, or was it very, you know,
Yeah,
Polish heavy?
It was Slovak too. We had after Christmas, Feast of the Three Kings.
Mm-hmm.
One of the Slovak traditions was the priest would come to your house, and what you would do is write in chalk on the mantelpiece over the door the symbol for the three kings, and he came and he blessed your house, and of course you always have to have money to pay them. You have to have food to feed them, but it was a really, really nice tradition.
Started cooking them now. So the oil's on a pretty low heat just because we don't want to burn them, and it's hard to get them in and out fast enough that they don't burn if it's on a higher heat. So we're just taking the raw ones, put it in, and then Grandma, do you want to hold this so that I can? And then you wait for it to rise to the top, like it's doing now. And then once it looks like it's starting to brown a little bit, just enough, like just a little golden brown, you can flip it over, like that. And wait a couple seconds and let it cook. And take it out.
Look at all we've done already.
Yeah. So it might not be completely cooked, so we might have to put that back a bit. Yeah. I think it just might need to harden a bit. I don't know.
Okay.
So it's best to do like 2 or 3 at a time, because any more than that might be too much.
They cook so fast that if you have a lot of them, you can't get them all out
Exactly.
at the right time. I think I'm going to raise the heat a little bit. It's not bubbling as much as it should.
And that's basically and we'll catch back up with you, and we are ready to powder sugar them. Some over here.
All right,
Some
you can
over
do
here.
that. That's cool. We'll wait a while on the others.
Alright, so how do we, this one you turn? This sifter?
Yep.
Like this.
Let you do it.
Tricky. Some over here.
All right,
Some
you can
over
do
here.
that. That's cool. We'll wait a while on the others.
Alright, so how do we, this one you turn? This sifter?
Yep.